How are you?
It's excited to be here.
It's really exciting. It is.
It's like running an ultramarathon to finally see the project come together, and now we're celebrating.
It's been many, many years in the making.
It has been, yeah.
It has been. So, what made you decide to go plant-based?
I went plant-based mainly for health reasons. I grew up in northern Minnesota, hunting and fishing, and I would have been the last person to become plant-based just because of my background, like eating meat. My mother worked for the Minnesota Egg Council. She did commercials and cooking demos. Like, going vegan was not even in the cards for me, but it was really seeing people like my mother with chronic disease, multiple sclerosis, working in hospitals in graduate school, and seeing the disease, and it just freaked me out. And it wasn't for athletic reasons. I wasn't expecting an edge performance-wise. I just wanted to keep doing what I love to do late into my life. So it was one of those things of just injury prevention and chronic disease prevention.
Yeah, so tell me about your edge.
I think the edge for me is, it's kind of this mysterious thing out there. The edge is, I don't know, it's kind of where I go to explore what is possible. And everyone has their edge. Mine happens to be areas where I like to explore ultra endurance and see what my body, mind, and soul can do. And that's much like when people go plant-based. It's a big undertaking. It's something that can be daunting and seem like, oh, I can't do this. And I think we need to explore our own edges, and that's the beauty of it. Everyone has an edge. You just got to get out there, and once you get out there, you realize I can go further. I can do something I didn't think I could ever have done before.
Yeah.
That's the amazing thing that I've learned.
So what would be the biggest side effect from being plant-based as an endurance athlete?
I think the biggest side effect, probably positive.
I should say benefit effect.
Benefit, yeah. Probably the biggest benefit for an endurance athlete is the recovery time.
Yeah.
And as endurance athletes, yes, you can sometimes show up on the start line eating crap, not having the best diet. The younger you are, the more you can get away with. But when it comes to year after year and longevity, as well as recovery on day-to-day training, that's what allows you to get to that starting line and perform on race day. So it's not so much maybe race day, but it's everything leading up to that. And what I do is I rip apart my body day after day after day, and it has to repair. And without that repair process, I wouldn't be able to do the training that I do.
Right. So within that, so obviously you're racing with other people. Do you feel like that you've had an effect? Or have you been able to infect them?
I like to say I'm a good instigator, and it's definitely been amazing. I've been plant-based for almost 20 years now.
Oh, wow.
And again, hunting and fishing boy, grew up out in the sticks, not a likely candidate, but
yeah.
A lot of people, and I think it's that approach where people realize not only what I was doing on the race course, but also just kind of giving people like a reason to maybe try something new, eat a different meal once a week, dabble, put their toes in the water, so to speak, and just see if I could do this. And if they're like, well, if that guy can, then so can I. And it's really neat to see the ripple effect. And I'm a soft sell kind of guy. I'm not in their face saying you got to be vegan, because if somebody had done that to me, I would never have been plant-based. It would have been like, get this person out of my face.
Right.
I've hunted and fished all my life. Why would I want to become a plant-based eater? So I think it's definitely fun to see that. And now, 20 years later, the access people have to it, as well as just, there's so many role models. We see in Game Changers here what role models, whether it's power sports, whether it's team sports, whether you're a guy, whether you're a gal, no matter what level you're at, you can do this, and that's what's encouraging. So it's not, I think sometimes they'd look at endurance athletes like me and think, oh, well, he's just one of those, low body fat percentage, ultra endurance athletes. That works for that, but what if I want to be, a power lifter? What if I want to be a boxer, or whatever sport? Like, I think those stereotypes are being broken down again and again, and it's had its ripple effect across sports and active lifestyles.
Exactly, and all of those are in Game Changers. So you've got the gamut of long and lean endurance to the strongest man in the world who's got arms as round as my waist. So it is really exciting to be able to see all of those different kinds of athletes.
Definitely, and each individual, and I think that's what's cool, is to see people, however they get into the lifestyle, the diet, they come through different avenues. And we're all conduits, we're all inspiring people, and that's what I love about it. Most people would never think, and I used to hate running and I used to hate vegetables, and look at me now. I'm here I am 20 years later on a plant-based diet running ultramarathons. So I think what people they realize is that maybe they're not winning events or breaking records, but they're having an effect on other people. And it's really, I think the plant-based movement is really an exciting time. I started 20 years ago when it was just this, I don't know, buddies of mine who were hippies, and I'm reading Howard Lyman's books, Mad Cowboy. I got inspired by somebody like, hey, this third generation cattle rancher went vegan. Maybe I could do this. So we all need those individuals, and I think that's what's so fun about Game Changers is it's going to touch the hearts and minds of so many people, whether they're living in the inner city or whether they're living out in the woods or on a farm or wherever across the country. And I think that's what's important.
And mostly men who think that they need to eat meat.
Definitely, because I think it's definitely easier. And I think that's why a lot of people did turn to me initially to become this individual, like, hey, this guy is doing this. Because a lot of times it was the female athlete or the female spokesperson in the movement. And it's great to see all these men showing that it can be done. And no matter what you're trying to do, you can do it on a plant-based diet.
Exactly.